According to Google, 18 to 200 and something days to create a new habit. But I really think it can be a lot less, especially if you decide to Okay, for those of you that don't know, habits are deeply ingrained patterns of behavior that we perform automatically, often without conscious thought. Not scary at all. They are formed through a process called habit formation, which consists of 3 key stages, and those 3 key stages are cue, routine, and reward. So stay tuned for me to explain what all of those are.
I'm at peace with myself and nothing bothers you.
But first I wanted to talk about habits I have, new habits I've gained, and habits I've gotten rid of. So I think a lot has to do with just routine, right? Like you wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you rinse your mouth out, and then you feel better, and that's like why, like you just do it every day, and so it's a routine. And then I think there's something also to be said for breaking your routine. Like I'm in a different location now, I'm doing something different, and it's been a little bit more challenging to record a video, but at the same time, here we are recording a video because the habits have become ingrained. So we're in downtown Bangkok, we are close to the river and Asiatique and whatnot on the rooftop of the hotel. Also, we'll talk about breaking habits as well and how I broke some pretty terrible habits.
I took a walk and saw your tattoo. I can't see straight when I'm mad to.
So let's go back to A. The cue is the trigger that prompts the brain to initiate a specific behavior. It can be a visual cue, such as seeing a certain object, or a time-based cue, such as a time of day. So like waking up, brushing your teeth. A visual cue would be like if I see ice cream, then I want to buy it, or whatever. You know, it could be anything. 2, a routine is the actual behavior that is performed in response to the cue. It can be physical action, a mental process, or even an emotional response. So you just start thinking to yourself a certain thing in response to a cue, like, oh, somebody left laundry on the floor, oh, my significant other is an idiot, or something like that. That is a habit in itself and you don't even realize it. 3, this is reward. Actually, before I get to the reward, I want to talk a little bit about breaking habits.
Want to be there when I'm asking, want to be there 'cause I'm asking, yeah, I'm asking.
So let's say you drink too much coffee, which I do. Or like in my case, I used to play a lot of poker, and even if you're playing strategically and you know the best ways to win and all those kinds of things, you're still getting a dopamine response, a reward, if you will, every time that you put money in the middle, or you lose a pot, or you win a pot, you're getting a kickback. And so it becomes more and more addicting. Even if you do all the right things, you're still being controlled by these reward centers in the brain, and you want to play more and more and more. So I remember I could play like 12 hours a day just because I'm just getting this constant dopamine feedback, these rewards, these pleasure centers being bingoed. And to quit, you can do a couple of things. So I kind of mentioned this before, is you can change your environment. So you can get out of your environment where you don't have access to that. The problem is of course, if you were to stumble into an environment, run into a cue, if you will, that could trigger your bad habit, you could still do it wherever you are. The second option, I think, is a much deeper and more lasting change. That is if you change your identity yourself. Smokers talk about this all the time. I'm a non-smoker. One day I just quit and I decided I was a non-smoker, not a person that smokes. And you can do the same thing with pretty much any habit. You just have to decide, okay, I'm going to be a non-drinker, a non-smoker, a non-gambler, a non-whatever it is. And you wake up the next day and you don't have that desire anymore if you really stepped into the identity. And this is about visualizing and seeing yourself as that, like as a person that takes care of themselves, or as someone that doesn't do this habit, as somebody who does something different instead whenever they're encountered with it. And once you can do that, then you can break it like almost instantly. So let's talk about that reward. The reward is the positive reinforcement that follows the completion of the routine. It can be a sense of accomplishment, a feeling of pleasure, or any form of gratification. You can use these types of rewards to generate positive feedback for things you want to change that you don't necessarily identify with currently. So if, for instance, you want to make your bed every morning, if you make your bed and pick up your dirty clothes, then you're entitled to a certain type of coffee, a Starbucks or whatever it is, as a reward, and then you'll be more likely to do it the next day. Oh, I made my bed and picked up my clothes. You do that every day, and that's your small new habit you want to implement. Or if you want to do a bigger habit, something like recording these videos, for instance, that's been trickier, right? But what I did was, like I said, okay, if I record 2 videos and a song a week, I can have Saturdays completely off and do whatever I want. Like, that was my motivation. So if I could get it all done, then I could have Saturday off. And so that's what I started doing, and that's how I created this new habit. And now, once I've created the habit, now I just want to make videos. It feels weird when I don't make videos. So I've been on vacation, so I haven't made a video. And so now I'm here making a new video. So now that you've created the habit, and it does take, according to Google, 18 to 200 and something days to create a new habit. But I really think it can be a lot less, especially if you decide to change your avatar of yourself, who you think you are, what you think you are, then it's easier to change your habit. So you just decide, okay, now I'm a YouTuber, and as a YouTuber, I make 2 videos a week, and I come up with new content ideas. I take a day, I write, and I make stuff. And I make stuff every week, and I'm creative. So now that I am that, then it's so much easier. It's so much easier. It doesn't take as much effort to make content. And you can do that with whatever your content is. If you're not into the idea of being a YouTuber or an influencer, you can be like a business owner that is also a marketer. You know, so like if you make jewelry, you can be like, I'm a custom jewelry maker and that enjoys making content, or enjoys making marketing materials, or enjoys making visuals or photographs, or you know what I mean. You can just associate it with something that's easier for your brain to accept, and then you can be that. And if you need more help clarifying, crystallizing this idea of creating a new avatar or identity, you can get it for free in my book. You can find it in my profile. Also, leave a comment. Let me know like some habits that you guys have overcome, or some new habits that you'd like to form. You know, you don't have to put anything you don't want to put in there. Keep it PG, okay? If you still feel like something is wrong with you, there's an entire playlist right here. Go there. And also, YouTube recommends this video here.
I can be happy, it's what you want.